the great ones are completely obsessed.
Yeah, and partly mad.
Yeah, well, maybe you need that.
Let's go back to another area where you really have been on the mark. I'm saying that personally, and I think you're absolutely correct. And this is not sycophancy. Some of the stuff that goes on in the university, if I read the course syllabus, if I read some of these real peer reviews, some of the subjects in there are beneath tripe.
Well, that's why they've flourished. I'm serious. I'm serious.
I know you're serious.
I've thought about this a lot. It's like, what the hell happened? And here's what happened is that, the scientific types and the serious scholars, they're a specific sort of person. They're rather obsessed, the good ones.
Yeah.
The great ones are completely obsessed.
Yeah, and partly mad.
Yeah, well, maybe you need a bit of that to be completely obsessed.
I think you are.
And a minority of scientists produce the majority of the literature, right?
Yeah.
And it's the same in the humanities and in the social sciences. And so those are people who are working 70 or 80 hours a week. All they do is work. And what they work on is their thing.
Yep.
And they need to do that because, well, they're on the cutting edge and they want to stay there. And they have their ambitions for sometimes it's political ambitions, but their stuff never lasts. But the good scholars some of them are great. They discover amazing things. I mean, I've encountered amazing psychological research, that's just, especially on the physiological end of things, in the general literature, that's just absolutely brilliant beyond belief.
And even the voyage of discovery is a tremendous ecstasy in itself.
Yes, right. Well, and it's a minority taste in some sense.
Of course it is.
And then there's these pseudo disciplines which have multiplied since the 1960s, and no one who was serious paid any attention to them. See, that's what happened, is that the serious people were busy doing their serious things, and there was all this
stuff.
Yeah, political activism,
identity politics, gender stuff.
That's right. In the what do they call them? Grievance studies departments, and everybody just sort of assumed that they were noisy but harmless. But they were not harmless because they're extraordinarily well organized, and the balance tipped. It almost tipped in the 90s because there was a big rising of political correctness around 1993.
There was.
But then the American economy boomed like mad, and I think that just kind of took the steam out of the what would you call it? Out of the objections.
Yeah.
But something happened 4 years ago, something like that, 5 years ago, where the scales tipped, and
I think it was the fair part of this. I really like your opinion is the growth of this. It's an awful philosophy. The idea of identity politics, which carries two great axioms that I can only communicate with you if you're of the same tribe as I am, and if you're teaching me in particular, I can't be taught by you if you're not of my tribe. But education is actually to receive it from everybody else and take you out of yourself. And the second thing is the subdivisions of identity politics. That ridiculous story out in BC is on identity politics, gender politics. That's roared out into society. Half the people and half the dinner tables of North America are afraid to bring these subjects up.
Yes, probably more than half.
And we're being ruled by them.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't take much. It doesn't take a very large determined minority to shut down a large and silent majority. That's unfortunately the rule. And the identity politics issue, it's a reversion to tribalism, and and so it's the miracle actually. The surprise isn't actually that it's back. The surprise is that it ever went away.
True enough.
And we took the fact that it went away for granted, and we forgot the reasons that it went away. We forgot the axioms, right? We started to lose faith in them, let's say, and. Well, that's partly what I've been trying to fight against, and to write about why those rules were necessary and what they meant.